Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Elite Weather. I'm meteorologist Mr. G with you guys once again with your weather forecast. And today we're going to cover the nor'easter in the Northeast right now, where we're seeing that snow beginning to wrap up from Boston down through the nation's capital, down to DC and Philly and New York. We're starting to see things going to be wrapping up here pretty quick. Within the next few hours or so, that snow is going to begin to wind down and the cleanup process can commence. I'm pretty sure they've been kind of cleaning as it went, but we are going to see where the real cleanup can take place and we can assess the damage, if any. We have a lot of traffic, snarled traffic out there, as well as airport delays. We're seeing lots of cancellations. Numerous cancellations in the Northeast from LaGuardia and JFK up to Logan Airport as well, and in Philadelphia, where we are seeing those cancellations and delays due to the heavy snow and de-icing of the road, the planes, and trying to keep the runways clear. That's going to be a task, as that snow has been falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. We'll still have about another 1 to 3 inches to go, generally in many locations across the Northeast. Some areas still could pick up another 3 to 5 for a few isolated spots. But generally, we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches to continue out there in Boston, as well as down to New York City and Philadelphia and DC, as well, as we are on the back end now of that storm system, as it's beginning to pull away from the Northeast coastal sections there. As we're going to see, our city of the day is Boston, Massachusetts. As you can see back here, maybe you can kind of see it a little bit. You can see some of the buildings maybe as that snow is beginning to lighten up just a little. So you can maybe see the outlines there behind the bridge there and all of that heavy snow that's currently falling across the Boston area, where our city of the day, where that heavy snow is falling in Massachusetts. So now let's move on to a closer look at the radar shot there that's over my shoulder. We got to look at it in the full screen mode and talk about exactly what's going on out there across the Northeast, as that's beginning to pull away from the coast, and we're going to start to see that snow diminish as we head through the remainder of this afternoon. So now we're taking a look at the radar here of the Northeast and New England, where we're seeing our storm with that heavy snow at this time beginning to diminish and pull away from the coastline there. So we got Boston here at the top of the map. This is the Boston area there, where we're seeing probably the heaviest snowfall at this time. So Boston, Brockton, maybe over here parts of Rhode Island as well, Providence, and we're seeing that snow through Connecticut, and we're starting to see it already starting to diminish here across the New York City there, and Philadelphia. That snow has also come to an end, so we're starting to see things diminish here from New York City. But Long Island still got a couple of hours to go to before this storm clears on out the area. Same thing up here in Boston, as that snow begins to taper and wind down, where we had about a foot of snow in Boston, about 8 to 9 inches there in New York City. We've had about 7 inches down in Philadelphia. So a nice a shot of snow for you guys, where you have not had much snow this winter, and you have not had much snow, if any, for the last couple of years. So this is the first significant snowstorm to affect the New England and the I-95 corridor in several years. So that is a welcome to some, a welcome change, a welcome, well, and not really welcome, but it's a shot of reality for you folks in the Northeast and New England. I hope that you have taken all of the precautions. You have prepared yourself. Make sure that your vehicle has enough gas. Make sure that you have food supplies, because some areas, it's not like the snow that Alaska has, where Anchorage has picked up in excess of 100 inches of snow. And there, I think they're getting more snow today, actually. I think maybe, Alaska is actually picking up more snow. So now that Snowmageddon is going to be coming to an end across the Northeast, we can go to our maps and take a look at the forecast for the remainder of the day. We don't have much to talk about as far as the rest of the country at this time. But however, there is another storm that will affect the West Coast. California there about the 19th or so, but the 18th and 19th we will see the atmospheric river kick up once again on the West Coast and bring heavy rain to California and into parts of the Northern California and the Pacific Northwest as well. We're going to see snow in the Sierra Nevadas and snow into parts of the Rockies. So when the forecast models kind of pin things down, we'll cover that in detail as well. So now let's jump into our winter storm coverage as that continues here on Elite Weather. So as we continue with the coverage of our winter storm across the Northeast, let's jump into our first map as we take a look at the track that the storm has taken. As we saw that low pressure center shoot up over the Cascades, not the Sierra Nevada either. This is the Appalachians. So we saw a more interior track where we had that low track up across the mountain range, and now it's currently off the coast of New England. They're off the coast of Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Connecticut. We're seeing that circulation out there and that heavy snow. Hence the term nor'easter. So we saw those gusty northeast winds blowing about 20 to 30 miles per hour on the shore, but out over the sea, it was actually, those knots were much higher, and we saw some beach erosion. There's also some coastal flooding possible as well, like in Long Island and Nantucket, those areas. If you have kind of a flat beach, you may see some beach erosion as well, and some coastal flooding from those winds, those 40-mile-an-hour winds blowing those waves up against the coastline. So here is a look at the radar right now. As we can see, the heavy snow. We're seeing that heavier snow there near Brockton. Look at this Nantucket out there. Look at the heavy snow around Nantucket. So some very heavy stuff blowing across there. Maybe even some thunder snow might be possible. Maybe Jim Cantori is over in that way and can get some footage of that if there is any thunder snow associated with that. And maybe Jim Cantori or Dr. Reed Timmer, maybe those guys are out there chasing the snowstorm, okay? And storm chasing video, those guys on YouTube are out there right now chasing the snowstorm, keeping everybody safe, showing us live video what it's like on some of those highways in the Northeast right now. So that's really awesome what those guys are out there doing. So we've seen that snow come to an end across Philadelphia, just now ending in New York City. So you guys will be about done with it completely in about an hour. But maybe still a few hours to go for Long Island through Islip and out there towards Connecticut. Going to continue down through Hartford areas and Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Boston. You guys are still got about an hour or so to deal with the snow before it begins to wind down in your area as well. So let's take a look at our next map. Here's a look at that snow as it's moving out of New Jersey, clearing out. Actually, this is a little bit older, as you saw in the previous map. It's already cleared out in New York, so we're going to skip this one. Here is our current winter weather alerts across the Northeast. Winter weather advisory and our winter storm warning still in place across Boston down to Rhode Island. So eastern Connecticut, the southernmost county of New York, and Long Island, New Jersey as well, east central New Jersey. We still have the winter storm warning, but elsewhere winter weather advisories are in place as our storm is beginning to wind down. So that doesn't mean it's going to get bright and sunny. Still going to remain cloudy for the remainder of the day, and those winds are going to continue. Even though the snowfall will stop, the winds will continue to blow, and the skies will remain cloudy and you might even have some blowing snow. But when the snow is this wet and this heavy, it's not as bad as blowing snow as what we get here in the Midwest, in the plains, because the snow is typically from Alberta clippers, which are usually the colder air is drier snow, so it's easier. It's like dust, so it just blows a lot easier. Then you just get more instances of blowing snow. So, but we will have some blowing and drifting snow here in the Northeast and into New England, just not as bad as what you would see if this happened here in the Twin Cities or in the Midwest anywhere. When those open plains and prairies and those winds are blowing in the snow, it's really crazy blowing snow. Okay, so here's the snow still to come across the Northeast, and we're going to be looking at that potential here for 1 to 3 inches possible over the Boston area, Providence, 1 to 3, maybe an inch for New Haven, an inch or less for Hartford, and maybe that inch for New York. But I think it's pretty much done across New York City there. Okay, so here is the snowfall totals, at least the big totals, the whoppers for the storm system. So on the high end, we saw up to 15 inches. Shahola, Pennsylvania, Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, 14.5. Is that Tobyhanna? Am I saying that right? I think so. Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania, 14 inches. 13.4 for Hazleton, and Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, has both seen 13.4 inches of snow. And then 13.4 inches also for Montauk, New Jersey, and Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, 13.2. 13.2 for Middle Smithfield Township, Hampton Township, 13 inches. 12.5 for you is Sparta, New Jersey, 12.5 inches. So a foot or more, this storm got up to 15 inches for some of you folks. But generally it's about 8 to 12. Most places picked up anywhere between 8 to 12 inches. These are the top spots in Snowmageddon here, in this Snowmageddon. Okay, so about an inch, 1 to 3 inches for the most part here in the Boston area. Few folks still might pick up to 5, like Brockton. And then in New York City, we're still looking at that 1 to 3. Generally now about an inch or less. Almost, if you're west, it's all done. East, maybe still like Long Island, 1 to 3. And maybe over like White Plains, 1 to 3 still possible. And into Connecticut, 1 to 3 inches. Again, Philadelphia, you're all done. It's all over there, so we don't have to worry about this map. Hartford, Connecticut, you're still looking at that 1 to 3 inches because this snow is very heavy. So even though it's coming to an end, starting to wind down, it's still pretty heavy snow falling, even though you're on the back edge of it. So you can still pick up 1 to 3 inches. So we're going to keep rolling with that for now. All right, guys? All right, that 1 to 3 still. And then if you are in the Albany, New York, we still have some snow showers, spidey showers in that area, but you're pretty much done with the snow, so you won't be seeing much more, if anything, unless you get a spidey shower, a snow shower, or a squall, and if it's pretty heavy. So in a couple of days, you will be okay for Valentine's Day, but I think about the 15th, 16th, a system will move out of the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and it's going to bring some more snow to the Northeast about the 16th or so, okay? The 15th and 16th, we might see another shot of snow. Not a nor'easter, but maybe another few inches across central New York and Pennsylvania. And maybe we'll see rain further down to the south. And that's going to head on off the coastline. So we'll see that shot of nice light snow about the 15th or so. And then we'll see that on the west coast, we will see the atmospheric river commence about the 18th with more heavy rain for California and SoCal as well, and mountain snow in the Sierra, mountain snow in the mountains of Southern California, Rocky Mountain snow as well. So we'll be tracking that. Our attention will turn towards the west coast once this nor'easter clears out of New York. Enjoy the next couple of days of peaceful weather coast to coast. So thank you for watching me. My name is Mr. G, And that's the end of this video today, guys. Alright. Leave your likes, comments, subscribe on TikTok or YouTube, okay? Comments, homies, leave those comments. Tell me about how you experienced this storm if you're living in the Northeast, okay? Leave that in the comment section, alright? Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.